a story of an integrated program that gorta is implementing through an agency called AFAD. AFAD is an agency for regional Agency for Regional Regional Development, agency. It's based in the West Nile region of Uganda, and it's one of our our strongest partner within the country. And they're implementing a West Nile development initiative that looks at the whole region of the West Nile region. This particular region had, over the time, had suffered a lot of political and civil strife that left the economy in shambles. And West Nile region is about 470 to 500 kilometers from Kampala. And during the war, this particular region was completely cut off from the main, like we can say, the economic hub of the country within the central. And this was because of the very bad roads that were leading to that particular region. And also the region was almost especially taken over by the rebels who were fighting government at the time. And therefore there was a lot of instability within that place. So many people had been displaced, and most of them were staying in camps. And because of that aspect of people leaving their homes and staying in camps, it was very difficult for people to go back and farm their farms, because they were not sure at what time, or at what hour the LRA rebels will strike and kill them. And this particular war was quite ruthless, because the rebels would attack a village and burn all the houses and hack everybody to death, and take over the children and go with them to be able to fight in the war. So it was a very, very dark moment for the region. But as gorta engaged AFAD towards the year 2000, things are changing. And at the time, the region, most people within the region could not access food, and some would stay 2 days without food on their table. So currently the Wendy program is reaching out to over 75,000 beneficiaries, and the program started working with 51 beneficiary organizations, but that has been scaled up to 82 beneficiary organizations. These are organizations of families at the village level that have been organized into a group to be able to, to ease issues of training and capacity building and distribution of farm inputs and all that. So at the moment, the program is targeting 82 beneficiary organizations. And majority of these people are rural, and therefore they're not so much exposed to many other things like, high-tech technologies that we may be aware of. This particular program, as earlier mentioned, is an integrated program looking at 3 thematic areas: at food and income security, whereby communities are trained on issues of sustainable agriculture and facilitated to implement sustainable agriculture technologies. Families are also sensitized and facilitated to start micro-enterprise initiatives, as well as microfinancing, savings and credit activities. The other aspect is human development, whereby the program works with communities to improve access to safe water and sanitation activities, as well as to sensitize communities on issues of HIV and AIDS prevention and mitigation, and education support. Education support in this instance is indirect, in that the communities are mobilized in their own beneficiary organizations. They start off a fund that they use to sponsor brilliant students within their community. So it's a community managed education fund, but the ideas, of course, were provided by the organization. And then lastly, issues of good governance, looking at effective local government leadership, citizenship and political participation, as well as the institutional development of these beneficiary organizations that the program is working with. So in a nutshell, I just want to provide a summary of what gorta is doing to ensure that households in West Nile are able to put a plate of food on the table. And one thing that we are doing, we are providing certified seeds And here we can see lorries with the seeds that farmers are going to be given so that they can be able to enhance their productivity. We know that seed is an important aspect of improved agricultural production and productivity, and therefore this is one initiative that the program is looking at to ensure that farmers are able to access good seed so that they can be able to get good yields at the end of the season. Other than seed, the program also facilitates these communities to restock their livestock, and we can see here the farmers have just received goats from the program, and this is because during the war, due to insecurity, most of the households lost their livestock. Most of the cows were stolen, the goats were stolen, and therefore as the farmers were going back to settle at home and start off a living, they had nothing. They had no cows, they had no goats, they had no chickens, and those are the things that support a rural livelihood or a rural home. So these particular people did not have those things, and therefore the program came in to support them to be able to strengthen their livelihoods in that way. Other than that, the program also facilitates the community to access clean and safe water, and we can see solar panels that are used to pump water from a borehole, and it's pumped to a distance whereby the community can access clean and safe water. So the program has also facilitated the community to access clean and safe water, and if we go back to the statistics, it has contributed a lot to reducing waterborne diseases that overburden the households in terms of money and treatment and also time. The program has also facilitated the communities to rehabilitate their, infrastructure. Like this is a latrine. This is a latrine in one of the schools in the region, and it was so dilapidated in such a way that even a distance away, you wouldn't want to relieve yourself in it. But the program has supported them to establish latrines within schools to enhance issues of hygiene and sanitation and cut back on disease infections. So what has been the result of all that? We can see that families are able to, have at least, 3 meals a day, and most of it is shared. You can see the children and the women. But when there's food constraint in a family, in an African setup, in many instances, it's the women suffer, because then they give the food to their husband and the children, and they're left back. But here we can see the program has facilitated them to access food on equal basis, and they're enjoying a plate of food. Other than that, the program has supported the community to start value addition to their produce. Like here we have a maize milling facility at the community level that the program has facilitated, and this not only creates jobs for the people at the community, but also adds the economic value to the produce that the community produces. Other than that, the program has also facilitated communities to construct classrooms at the community level to enable children to have access to good infrastructure during their learning process. And it may have indirectly contributed to the good performance of children in the West Nile region. And also the distribution of mosquito nets to be able to curb the spread of malaria, and we can see the children very happy here with their mosquito nets. So in a nutshell, I just want to say that gorta works with partners and ensures that the benefits of the projects are realized at the household level. The approach may be gorta funding a partner working with a beneficiary organization, but we are keen to ensure that despite all that, the benefits are realized at the household level. And today, as I speak, I want to say that this is one program that is working so well. It's a 7-year program, and it's on its 3rd year. And the production levels have increased significantly. They are now into marketing of agricultural produce and even into producing of cash crops in terms of sesame and soybean. And this is just one example of how a small initiative can impact so largely on a big population of people beyond what we can, we can comprehend. So I think also at this time, as we go through Lent, we need to pray for those people who are unable to access food. At least in the West Nile region, they can be able to access food on the table. But there are parts of Uganda and of Africa and of other places where people can still not access food on the table on a daily basis. I think we need to pray for them and ensure that God can be able to, give them the strength to endure and maybe get food someday or help from wherever it will come from. Thank you.